I'm gonna give you a tip today. It took me years to figure it out. I used to sit up there all year long, and I'd have a lot of luck in the early part of the season and then in the rut. But in the middle part, I didn't have any luck. But this tip right here, you'll be able to use all during the season. But most of all, you got to gain confidence in your scouting and your tree stand position. You're going to lose some visibility here, but the confidence that you gain on knowing where the deer bed and when they come out is going to help you get your buck. All right, well, first of all, we're going to take the clover field here. We're going to walk the edge and find the major trail that's coming into the clover field and take it all the way back to the bedding area. Come on. Okay, folks, the first thing you got to do is to make sure, whether it's a clover field, agriculture, walk the edges and try to find the major trail coming into the field. Okay, looks like I found it right here. We're going through some canes right here, and we've got a big creek right over here. I know that for a fact because I've hunted it before. But here's the major trail. I'm going to take that trail, and I'm going to walk back and see if I can find the bedding area. Come on. Let's see if I can get down here without busting my rear end. Kind of wet. Okay, now, this is what I'm looking for. And this is amazing, folks. Look at this right here. Look how steep this embankment is. And these deer are going all the way up this embankment. They also got another trail right over here, too. Look at that. You can see the fresh tracks in it. So this is my first step. Like I said, I go from the clover field, and I try to find the major trails into it. Now, what I need to do, I'm going to cross the creek and get on the other side and try to find out where this trail is going out. All right, folks, I'm on the other side of the creek now, and what I'm looking for here is the main trail to the green field. The green field is about 30 or 40 yards right to those canes right there. Now, this right here is one of the main trails that goes down through the creek and up to the green field. And it's hard to believe that deer can go down this steep embankment all the way through that deep creek, but this is where they feel safe. All right, folks, now I found my bedding area. This is a clear cut. Now, it might be a different type of bedding area depending on what part of the country you're in, but this bedding area is about 300 yards from our clover field. And it provides three things, as far as I'm concerned, here locally. It provides cover, it provides food, and it provides water. And all three things will hold whitetails. Now, what I'm going to do here is when I get to a clear cut or a bedding area, I try to walk the whole edge of it to find where trails come together and come into this little strip of hardwoods leading to the clover field. And that way right there, it'll tell me where to put my tree stand, because that's most important. Come on, let's see if we can find some major trails intersecting. All right, folks, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for major trails that come together. Now, it might be hard for you at home to see this on television, but as you'll see right here, we have one trail coming through here. We have another major trail coming right here. And we have another major trail coming right here. And they all three intersect into one trail that leads through these hardwoods into the clover field. Now it's time to place your stand. My tree stand's on the right, and my cameraman, Pat, is right above me. Now, what I've done is I've made sure I put my stand up at least 25 or 30 feet so I can look way out into the clear cut. Remember, I'm trying to catch these deer feeding on the browse, honeysuckle, or whatever before they go to the clover field. And like I said, a lot of times they will not get to that clover field until after dark. So I'm gaining a lot of confidence in my scouting. Now, a lot of you out there, you don't have the confidence in your scouting. This way will give you confidence because I know three things here. I know where the clover field is, I know where the trails are, I know where the bedding area is. Now I found my intersecting trails out of the bedding area going to the clover field. So this is what I call the perfect tree. Now, wind, very, very important. I can only hunt this stand on a west or northwest wind. If I hunt this stand on a south or southeast wind, my wind will be blowing back into the bedding area, which is a big no-no as far as deer hunting is concerned. Okay. That's a little bit of my scouting. Hope I helped you a little bit. Like I said, use this depending on which part of the country you're in. All right, let's head on back to camp. And like I said, we're going to try to hunt this stand either this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon.
Not long after the doe comes out, a rack buck appears in the brush about 100 yards from Jackie.
All right, Alabama whitetail. What we got here? 8-pointer. Yes, sir. Look at him. Boy, his tarsals are dark. A couple of weeks before the rut, I saw some scrapes in there, and he was rubbing some trees. You can see it right here on his antlers. But I tell you what, folks, this was a lot of fun because I did my scouting, I gained confidence in my scouting, and when I placed my tree stand, I had a real good feeling I'd get a shot at a good buck.